Hello Destiny 2 gamers! In this video I'll be going over how to clear the Epic Koregos encounter in the Epic Desert Perpetual Raid as a 2-man fire team. I will be explaining how the encounter works and which loadouts can easily clear. If you don't need to know how the encounter works, feel free to skip to the next chapter. First of all, when the encounter starts, you will be in the middle of the arena clearing ads. There is nothing else to do until the encounter actually calls for your attention. Each player will be banished one by one, and they will need to pick up a box in middle to get rid of their banishment. After picking up said box, you will see that one of the portals is actually open. What does that mean? That the crystal connected to the portal will be pointing to the first minigame. Our first objective will be to walk inside the portal, step on the plate to get a temporality buff, very important, and then just leave the room. If you see this imp enemy, do not kill it because it will spawn an enemy outside that we don't need yet. Just keep in mind it exists. When you come out, feel free to interact with the crystal to actually destroy it. Now what you're going to notice is your word line stability timer will go down when it reaches 1/3, the boxes in the middle will show a color, in this case white. Also keep in mind, because of the boss inside the room, you will get a special effect outside which will either be detains, elimination, or suspend. Now that we respawned, the game will allow for another rally flag to be placed down, and the encounter will restart and play out as normal. What we're going to do is we're going to interact with the box responding to the color we saw earlier, in this case white, and then get rid of our banishments one more time. As we can see, banishments go one by one, they repeat in the same order, so get rid of your banishment. And then head into the room where you will find the imp that we did not kill earlier. This time, kill the imp. The imp will spawn a Wyvern outside that will drop chronons of the color we aligned. Pick up a chronon, head to the hourglass, and deposit the chronon inside the hoop. Make sure you pick up a second one, and make sure you do it quickly because they actually despawn after a while. After you're done depositing the second chronon, the hourglass will be ready for the minigame. So make sure you head towards the portal, and when you're ready, shoot the bottom of the hourglass to start the minigame. The minigames will be in a random order if you started the encounter from a fresh instance, and will follow the previous encounter order if you did a full run of the raid. Hydra minigame. The player with the constant temporality buff will stand inside the beam and call out the 2 correct portals. Basically the non-red ones. The player without the buff will see 2 correct portals, but different from the other player. Make sure you see which one you two have in common and interact with the box on top of the portal. As soon as the box has been interacted with, the temporality player will be able to break the lens and kill Hypopti. Make sure the player that got the plate buff will also kill the boss, because otherwise both players will have a temporality buff and that's bad. As soon as you're done with your minigame, you can swap to your damage loadout, head outside, and the player with the temporality buff will open the crystal while the other player will shoot it to break it. This starts damage. Hobgoblin minigame. The temporality player will see the eye order, and the non-temporality player will shoot the eyes in order. After you're done with the minigame, make sure the temporality player kills the Hobgoblin, and then you can head to damage. Wyvern minigame requires you to break 2 boxes at the same time on 4 on the diastole timer at the top of your screen. Make sure you assign a right and left player and then shoot them when the box hits 4. Make sure you're also jumping and shooting the detains as they're coming out of the box. In this video you can see me shooting right side while my teammate is shooting left side. Also, it is better to not shoot the box than to get them at the wrong timing. Or just not shoot them at all. After the third box, Acrius will be damageable. Make sure your temporality player gets the last hit on the boss, and then head outside and go for damage. After your first damage phase, you will have an undoing buff on the left of your screen, which means you will have to go to middle and kill the boss in middle. Make sure that your temporality player is killing that boss. They will open the crystal, and the other player will break it. After your second damage phase, you will have two bosses, so break one, then kill the other boss, and then break the second one. Make sure you don't kill both at the same time, because the buffs will override each other. For your running loadout, I recommend Peregrines on Titan, because the shoulder bash will one-shot the bosses both outside and inside the rooms. I will also now be going over the damage loadouts. Damage is not tight, but it also requires a tiny bit of setup. I recommend running a Bubble Titan because it will negate everything that happens during damage in a normal run. It also applies a debuff on the boss and gives you Weapons of Light, so increase the damage for free. All loadouts will be in the description, so make sure to check that. As a Bubble Titan, you can easily use Legend of Acrius. It is very simple. As a Void Hunter, you can use Leviathan's Breath and Fortune's Favor with Mobius Quiver. This is probably the easiest setup to clear this with. It requires no effort, damage is clearable. Anything past the T in time on the health bar is clearable. Make sure at the end of your damage phase to check for the color on the sides of the arena so that you know what to start with for the next running phase. In this case, we have white. For Titan, we can run an Imminence with Slice. Casting your class ability severs the target. We can run Found Verdict with Aggregate Charge, which synergizes with our Slice and the Bubble. Or we can just dump Legend of Acrius. That also works, it is perfect. Catalyst makes it deal a ton of damage. It is also very important that you are running no backup plans, because it increases buff while you have an overshield, which is exactly what Bubble does. And make sure, well, this just makes it easier, you run Suppressor Grenade, and then the fragment that lets you reload when you suppress a target, so you don't have to manually reload your Acrius. There is also a different setup with Parasite Catalyst and 2 shotguns that I like to run. It requires Slice on a Sword Breaker, and then again the Suppressor Nade. It does a lot of damage. You're basically doing a swap rotation with 3 weapons. If you want to see an example of that, feel free to click the top right icon. It will take you to my DUO 2 phase, where you can actually see this rotation in action. It is actually very strong. As for the Hunter, everything clears. It is very easy. I am literally doing a no effort and poorly executed Still Hunt rotation with no rockets in between, just dumping my Still Hunt, and it's still clearable damage. You can even do a rotation that requires even less effort. Just Blade Barrage and then shoot 1k voices. The boss just dies, he has no help. Warlocks can easily do a Celestial Fire rotation, which requires you to get 4 finishers with Winter's Guile, and then you can just pop your Song of Flame as soon as you're done. Here you can see me stacking up Warlord Sigil with the finishers, running outside, getting more kills to get my ×10. And as soon as I'm getting the last one, I signal my teammate to open the crystal. I break it. I pop Song of Flame, and then Celestial Fire, 1-2 punch, Celestial Fire, 1-2 punch, Celestial Fire, and so on. When I'm done, I'm just dumping Anarchy with the shotgun. Nothing special. We have also tested another rotation on Warlock if you don't want to do Song of Flame stuff, which requires obviously some setup. It is simply on Prismatic Warlock. You're just pretty much dumping heavy sniper. You can shoot Izanagi's Burden in between, doesn't really matter. Just make sure you get aggregate charge times 3 and just dump your heavy sniper. Now, for the third damage phase, there is actually a difference because the third damage phase is not where you did the previous two. It will be in the sky. So make sure that as soon as you get out of the portal, you are heading to the white alignment box. You break the crystal, and the boss will be up there. Now, normally you get buffs and then you break crystals to extend the damage phase, but we cannot do that because we only have 2 players and this requires at least 4. So what we're going to do is we are going to wait here until the boss is damageable and then just damage him. When you see a crystal spawn, if it spawns on your location, make sure you jump quickly to another side of the arena, because otherwise you will be trapped inside and you will not be able to deal any damage. As you can see here, the crystal spawned on the right side. That means we don't have to move. Damage the boss, make sure you play live. You don't have to send the boss to final stand to actually kill it. Remember how temporality buff can only open the crystal and non-temporality player can only shoot it? This is where you will need 1 revive token minimum. You can use up to 2 depending on how much damage you have left on the boss. You're going to rally with a weapon that you can die with. I recommend a rocket sidearm or a rocket pulse. Both are very nice, you can just shoot the ground and die. You will be killing the harpy in middle. And as soon as you're ready, you'll be walking inside the portal. Inside the portal, you will pick up your banishment box to get rid of it and head towards the top. As soon as you see the temporality buff, just die with your rocket sidearm in this case. Your teammate will revive you. They will open the crystal, you will shoot them. And as soon as you shoot all 3, damage starts. If you don't kill the boss, it will go immune 1 more time, and the other player will have to die so they can break the crystal again. See, temporality buff. We both got it. My teammate dies. I open the crystals for him. And with the worst possible damage setup of all time, we still clear the encounter. Pretty simple.